This hunting scene could have taken place 20,000 years ago right here in the Dordogne, in the prehistoric Mecca of Les Aisies. But for the weekend, this prehistoric hunting ground has been transformed into a playing field for 100 prehistory enthusiasts from all over the world to relive the hunting feats of their illustrious ancestors. But before the games can be officially opened, a sample of tinder, just like our grandparents used in their cigarette lighters, is taken from a fungus found on certain varieties of trees. To light the tinder, prehistoric man used flints that he struck together to make a spark.
Okay.
And so the flame is lit and the prehistoric Olympic Games can begin. The Belgian, Swiss, French and German competitors are champions in the prehistoric projectiles department. This comes as no real surprise, since the athletes participating in the games are for the most part scientists specialised in prehistoric archaeology. They study their sport all year long in their archaeological digs and prehistoric museums and are familiar with even the smallest details of the bows and missile weapons used by our prehistoric ancestors. While the bow and arrow made their first appearance around 10,000 years BC and are familiar to everyone, the missile weapon remains largely unknown to the general public. So these games are the ideal opportunity to bring this formidable weapon to our attention. The missile weapon was used for hunting. The most recent example is at least 20,000 years old, and it consists of a wooden shaft that ends in a hook to which a 2-meter-long slatted arrow is fitted, to increase the strength ratio of the hunter's arm. Better still, watch the European champion Pascal Chauveau.
Voilà, pour réussir un tir de
Well, to perfect my throwing action, I consulted a number of ethnographical documents about the Australian Aborigines, who are the last hunters to use this weapon. That helped me to define the ideal throwing action and the position of the feet, the rotation of the trunk and the grip. And I also noticed that the Aborigines point their left arm towards the target. So I've copied this movement, and really, it's been quite successful. The prehistoric games have two types of events: an American-style competition using a single target placed at distances of 15 and 20 meters, and a so-called European-style competition using around 30 targets representing prehistoric animals hidden in the forest. The rules are simple. The winner is the competitor with the most consistent results in the two events. The game code, however, is much more complicated. While competitors are allowed to wear jeans and sandals, the materials used to make the weapons are strictly regulated. The bows and missile weapons must be made from natural materials such as wood, bone, leather, flint, sinew, and glues made from skin extracts and crushed fish bones. That means that carbon fibers and plastics are totally out of the question. While the spirit of the games is resolutely sporting, the process is rigorously scientific. The competition is ideal for European prehistorians who can validate their hypotheses in a real-life situation. This is called experimental archaeology. In between events, the scientists were able to compare their broken arrowheads with those broken 15,000 years earlier and study the accuracy of the arrows according to their length. We're also able to study the bows and how they stand up during the competition. All the statistics collected during the games will be analysed to bring to light aspects of prehistoric life that we knew nothing about. Belgian Pascal Chauveau with his missile weapon and Frenchman Laurent Bernat with his bow and arrow were the victors of the day. Our prehistoric ancestors and, of course, Pierre de Coubertin would have been proud of their descendants.